Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Hello everyone, this is Carrie with the Unicorn Company Podcast. Today we're going to be covering the ComStar Battle Level 2. This is one of the two ComStar Force Packs that came out. I was at a convention recently and picked this up along with the Command Level 2 and wanted to go ahead and go over them real quick. So before going into these or anything, I do want to thank our sponsor, Fortress Miniatures and Games. You can find them at fortressminiaturesandgames.com. Wonderful retailer for BattleTech items, and they carry just about everything you could want. They carry stuff from terrain to miniatures, both metal and plastic, as well as some resin miniatures by Death Ray Designs, and much of their terrain, I believe, much of their terrain is from Death Ray Designs as well. So, like I said, that's fortressminiaturesandgames.com. Bobby, the owner, is a wonderful guy. I highly advise you to go ahead and check it out. And now on to the review, I don't know if I'd really call it a review. So, the reason I'm looking at the Force Packs, one is because I wasn't part of the Clan Invasion Kickstarter. My life had gotten really crazy when all that happened, and I had suffered from pancreatitis, so getting mechs and miniatures was not in the forefront of what I was thinking of. And of course, also, there's the simple fact that money was a weird thing at that time. It's still weird. It's always weird, but I'm in a better position now than I was when that happened. So let's go ahead and we're going to start off with we're going to do these by weight class, lightest to heaviest. And I'm doing it by their Alpha Strike size weight class and then alphabetically. So the first mech that we're going to look at is the Mongoose. As far as the miniature itself, and mind you, this is the Clan Invasion stuff, but this, I'm assuming, is like several printings past the original. I see one place where you can see it on that left hip where they cut it off the sprue. Nothing looks weird about it or anything like that. So, I mean, for the most part, wonderful model. I do like how they did the Mongoose. And of course, let's go ahead and take a look at the mech and the pilot. Starting with the cards for the mech, you have the Star League version and then the downgrade for the Succession Wars. The Star League version was the MON66. It's a 30-pointer, Battle Mech size 1, TMM3, movement of 16. It's Scout, 220 with no overheat, 3 armor, 2 structure, energy probe, and recon. Which it gets with the active probe. And of course, for 3 points less, you have almost the same mech. Size 1 TMM3, 16-inch movement, Striker, 220, no overheat, 3 armor, 2 structure, special of energy. So it's a 3-point downgrade, but looking at it, you're essentially just removing the probe and recon, I believe. So it's not a huge difference. It's pretty much getting rid of the toolbox abilities. And of course, you have the 2 pilots. This one is Ismay Sauveterre. And they have Eagle Eyes, which functions as a Beagle active probe with a range of 1. I think that does something different in Alpha Strike, though, because these are BattleTech cards. And then you have Cletus Dumas. and they have forward observer, which is a good scout ability. So, you know, and like I said, the miniature itself, really good looking miniature. The model, it's very clean. It's, you know, there's nothing that's like glaring about it that I'm like, yeah, no, that's not right. Next up, we have the crab. Now this comes with the CRB-27 crab and the CRB-20. So the crab is one of the miniatures that I do have a couple issues with. First of all, yes, its legs are pointing towards one hex side, but its torso is most definitely pointing towards the corner. I prefer to use the torso. I know that BattleTech rules have always used the legs, unless it's marked otherwise. So this one is going to get cut off the base and reoriented so the torso faces the hex base. Other than that, I mean, construction-wise, there's nothing really crazy about it. There's not a ton of mold lines. There's not a ton of sprue clip points that you can see. The biggest problem I have with this model is the cockpit. The fluff about the crab always had it as, you know, the cockpit was something where it ejected out of the rear of the mech. I don't see how that's going to work on this. Like I said, beautiful model. I love the model. I don't like the cockpit placement. I kind of wish they had gone with the MechWarrior Online style of putting the cockpit up on the top at least, if they're going to have a visually seeable cockpit on a mech that, for the most part, doesn't really need it. And of course, you don't have the flimsy little metal machine gun on the roof anymore. Let's see if we can get to focus. Let's get you closer. There's like a magic area where it likes to see the mini. But yeah, you can see it right there, the machine gun and the AMS. They are no longer very flimsy little thing. Or no, that's the AMS. That's, I don't know what that is. But yeah, and the laser on the front, it's no longer this thin little metal rod. As far as pilots, or as far as the mech, first of all, we have the CRB-27 Crab. This is the Star League era version. Mind you, these are not the end-all be-all Star League era versions, because there were the Royals, which were even more souped-up versions. This is Battle Mech size 2, TMM2, movement of 10 for 29 points, 320, overheat of 1, 5 armor, 4 structure with energy. And then we have the Succession Wars downgrade, which is the exact same points. Type Battle Mech size 2, TMM2, movement 10, skirmisher, 320, overheat 1, 5-4, energy, and 29. So effectively 2 of the same mech. I kind of wish they had done the Star League one as the Royal, the 27B. That way you would have, you know, something different. We have 2 pilots here. We have Stuart Baybars, who's a 2-3 gun piloting, and Rishan Thakur, who's a 3-2 gun pilot. That's Stuart. Their special piloting ability is Weapon Specialist. Like I said, this is a BattleTech rule, but this could be converted to Alpha Strike. I think the easiest way would just be to use the Alpha Strike pilot ability. And then we have Rishan Thakur, 3-2. And of course they have Bloodstalker, which is the BattleTech version of Bloodstalker. And I do like the little quotes at the bottom. They're nice. They're interesting. After that, we have the Flashman. Now, the Flashman is a weird mech. It was a Star League flashbulb mech. Flashbulb. Basically, a bunch of lasers, nothing else, just lasers. Lasers everywhere. All the weapon ports you see on it, except for that one on the shoulder, is lasers. It's respectably fast. The downside is, with the anti-missile system, it's also very vulnerable. Because the Star League, for some reason, decided to smack an AMS in there without adding case. And it uses an XL engine, so I mean, it's not that big of a... I don't know how to put it. I would rather they had not thrown AMS in there, smacked like a heat sink and a small laser in it instead, and it would have ENE. But looking at the model itself, the view screen, one thing I have noticed on Flashman, the view screen is not always very noticeable when people are painting it. It, from what I can tell, is the upper and lower section plus these wings that come off. It has it would have a ton of space to be able to see. As you can see, the model itself is, if it ever refocuses, let's move the backdrop. There we go, I think. Why doesn't it want to focus? Oh, it's being such a pain in the butt. But yeah, so there we go. If you look at it, you can see it's not there's not a lot of stuff as far as mold lines. You can see one thing right there where they clipped it, and obviously the sprue has the clip point in the middle of that corner on the leg. Probably multiple clip points, but that's the only one that we see. And as far as the Flashman itself, we have the Star League and the downgrade versions. Actually, no, the Star League and a FedCom Civil War version. And I take back what I've said about the Flashman in a way. Oh, well, let's get into it. So you have the FLS 8K Flashman, BattleTech Size 3, Team M2, Movement 10, Skirmisher 440, Overheat 1, Armor of 7, Structure of 3, with Anti-Missile System, Rear 110, and it comes in at 41 points. Overall, this is not a bad design. I don't like the fact it doesn't have case or it's not ENE. Then we have the Flashman 7K, the FLS 7K. So this is... Well, hold on. No, I take it back. It is, they just have the arm of the Flashman blocking part of the thing. So this is the 7K, BattleTech Size 3, TMM1, Movement of 8, Brawler, 430, Overheat 1. Armor of 7, Structure of 6, so it takes a lot more damage. And it's an ENE with Rear 110, and it's 36 points. So it's cheaper. It hits a little bit less hard at medium, but this is an attrition machine. It's purely built to attrition an enemy because it will sit there and take hits all day. The other downside of it, though, it moves 8, so it only has the 1 TMM, whereas with the 2 TMM, you're more on par with most modern equipment on the battlefield. For pilots, we have Harry Fraser. Harry is a 2-4 gunnery piloting, and he has a special ability of Sniper, which pretty much works the same as in Alpha Strike. Yeah. And then, of course, you have his little quote, like, preserve me. And the other one we have is Colin. Carrie flings the card across the screen. Colin Bargile. Please excuse my air conditioner. It's that time of year here in Virginia. Colin is a 4 gunnery, 2 piloting, so better pilot than gunner, and has Terrain Master, which fits. And I don't know what that means with the I really want to try my K20 on Autumn Wind after we win. Not sure what a K20 is. But that's his quote. So yeah, Flashman, really good model. Like I said, one thing that I saw. Next is the Crockett Actually, no, that's not next. Sorry. We'll get to that in a minute. That's the last one. Next is the Guillotine, or Guillotine, depending on how much you want to piss off people who speak French. Guillotine, the model itself is very nice. It doesn't have any... Not that I'm seeing anyway. I don't see any appreciable... Oh, there's one. On the back shoulder... Yeah, on the back shoulders, you can see where it clipped. They clipped it off the sprue. But otherwise, I mean, it's pretty clean. I gotta say, and I like the model. It's one of the better reinterpretations. Some of the reinterpretations weren't as great. This is a really good one, though. And as far as the cards you get the GLT 3N and 4L guillotines. The 4L is a downgrade for the Succession Wars. Starting with the 3N, Guillotine 3N comes in at 35 points. Type Battle Mech size 3, TMM1, movement of 8 jump. It's a skirmisher, 440, with 6 armor, 6 structure, and case. Not super fast, but it will attrition an enemy, and it hits decently hard. The other version... The 4L is 35 points, so you're looking at a cost drop of nothing. Same point value. That's weird. Okay, so apparently the case, the cost of case is nil on this design. The 4L, 35 points, Battle Mech size 3, TMM1, movement 8 jump, skirmisher, 440, overheat 0. 6 armor, 6 structure, no specials. So basically a guillotine without the ability to tank a hit from an ammo explosion. Now, the 2 mechs we have here, we have Utman Obied, and we have Kwame Abuki. Utman 4-4. Has a special ability of Hot Dog, -1 target modifier for all rolls to avoid overheating. Alpha Strike, it's a little different. I can't remember what it does exactly. And then there's this quote right there. And of course, next you have Kwame, who's a 3 gunnery 2 pilot, so better gunner and pilot. Weapon specialist, which... Like I said, it's different in Alpha Strike. Much different, actually. And then there's the quote there, which... Some of these are interesting. You know. The next one we have in this box is the Lancelot. Here he is right here. The Lancelot is a way... okay, so some of these are very close to their original art. Mind you, they had new art and all that stuff. But the Lancelot is really... Like, out of this box, it's the furthest from the original art for the mech. At least in my opinion. Now, the miniature, as you look at it, you can see... There's a clip at the top of the leg. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I really see as far as stuff that's like, oh, okay, that needs to be cleaned up. Otherwise, amazing model. I love it. And it's a good redesign of the mech. Lancelot, we have the LNC25-01 and the LNC25-02. The 01 is the Star League version, and the 02 is the Succession Wars. And this one gets interesting. Okay, I see how they did it. So, 2501, 33 points. Battle Mech size 3, TMM2, 12-inch movement, skirmisher, 331, overheat of 1, armor of 5, structure of 3, with energy. Okay, good all-around Star League machine. Let's take a look at the 2502. It's 30 points, so right there you are gaining 3 points. You're paying for it, though, with speed. It's TMM1 with a movement of 8. It's a brawler. 331, overheat of 1. 5 armor and 5 structure, so that might make up for the lower speed, and has E&E once again, making it where ammo hits are not a thing that this worries about. We have 2 pilots. We have Roger Biernsbacher and Malik Buna. Malik is a 3-3, and they have special pilot ability of multitasker. Pretty much makes it easier to shoot other things other than your primary. And yeah, there's your quote. Then you have Roger, Lord Mortimer, a little Knight's Tale joke. Special abilities are Human TRO and Marksman. Some of these, like, I don't know. I don't use the special abilities that much. And then, of course, there's the, the quote. And that one's actually kind of nice. Because it's like, yeah, you have your data, but how do you account for this person who is a complete wild card? So, there is the Lancelot. And then finally in this box, we have the biggest boy, the Katana. Well, not the biggest boy in the Star League, but the biggest boy, or in ComStar, but the biggest boy in this set. Now, the Katana miniature, Crockett miniature, we'll talk about that Katana thing. It is a Crockett, not a Katana, although it is a Katana. We'll get into that. Wonderful, wonderful job of reimagining this mech and making it look good. The original miniature just does not do the mech justice. I'm going to say that out loud. And this one is quite nice. So looking at the Crockett, beautiful model. I really like it. We have the Crockett CRK 5003-1 and the 5003-0. Now, don't ask me why the Succession War stuff either went up or down a number. It was weird. So, the 5003-1 Crockett, it's a battle mech, size 4, TMM1, movement of 6 jump, sniper, comes in at 46 points, 443, no overheat, armor, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 armor, 7 structure, with flak 111 and SRM 11. Those 2 abilities aren't going to come in competitive play, but in casual, you can use them. Not a bad design. Not bad at all. Now, for 5 points less, at 41, you get the 5003-0 Crockett. This is a Succession Wars downgrade. Battle mech size 4, TMM1, move 6 jump, Juggernaut, 330, overheat of 2, armor of 9, structure of 7, no specials. So, unfortunately, an ammo explosion will end this thing's day. And, it's not a good thing to have happen. So as far as the pilots, we have Herman Stiles and Gabrielle Carcass. It's spelled Carcass. First, we'll start with Herman Stiles. Herman has Jumping Jack, which is amazing in BattleTech and Alpha Strike. You just don't want to deal with somebody that has that ability, because they are way better than anybody else who has a jumping mech. And of course, there's this guy's a true believer right there. And then next we have Gabrielle. See, I told you, I spelled Carcass. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced, but that's how it's spelled. 2-4 gunnery piloting. Special ability is Antagonizer, which is a unique ability. It forces your opponent to do things. And then I love that right there. Yeah. I mean, they're obviously trying to antagonize a clanner, and their special ability is Antagonizer. But yeah, so that is the battle level 2, and just going to go ahead and see if I can't get everybody in frame here to give you an idea of what you're looking at. I got more frame over there. I didn't realize that. But yeah, so that is everybody in this one. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, please go visit my sponsor, FortressMiniaturesAndGames.com. Wonderful, like I said, wonderful store. I really like working with them, both on a personal and a professional level. And also, if you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and check out the Patreon we have at patreon.com/unicorn company. And, go ahead and if you want to see more content, like and subscribe down below. Until next time, this is Carrie.
I'm gonna find my meaning, I can make a change, I wanna play